Early in the morning, the evacuation team of combat medics sets off for duty. After a brief rest from their previous shift, they are ready to relieve their colleagues. Our team is with it in the guise not empty-handed.
Do you still not have a Christmas tree? Not yet. Good morning, good morning.
The paramedics from the previous shift say they didn't have much to do, but they were still busy. One of the defenders from the mortar crew was transferred to the stabilization unit.
They was setting up the mortar when a Russian FPV drone tried to attack them and got stuck in a tree. They were lucky, but just a few minutes later a mortar fire started and one of our got wounded.
Medics say that Russian FPV drones haven't reached their positions yet, although drones on fiber optics have been spotted in the area, possibly lying by the roadside waiting for their targets. They also don't rule out the presence of Russian reconnaissance and sabotage groups.
Of course, we are all aware of the possibility of it and someone needs to stay alert. We're on duty and one person has to keep listening to the radio.
In the cozy dugout, everything is ready for the coming harsh frost. A stove has been installed and it's been heated by Roman, the evacuation team driver. He now drives the evacuation vehicle after recently transitioning from the infantry. After a severe injury, Roman went through a long rehabilitation. He says the hardest part of his job now is dealing with rough terrain while transporting the wounded.
It's tough on such roads. My heart bleeds when driving a wounded man, but you have to save the person.
All the servicemen in this evacuation team have been serving the armed forces since the start of the full-scale war. Before February 24, 2022, Dmytro worked at a maternity hospital.
In Ukraine, there are frequently no male nurses. There's a nurse and a female obstetrician. I'm an obstetrician, as you can see.
Servicemen say physical exhaustion and lack of proper sleep are not the main challenges of their work at the front. It's much harder to cope with psychological pressure.
In the first few days, it was very hard to fall asleep in the silence. For about 3 days, I had to listen something on my phone to fall asleep. Now it's not like that anymore. You adapt. The hardest thing is adapting to stressful situations, and it's difficult to imagine where we will find that kind of adrenaline in civilian life.
Hours fly by as we talk. Each of the soldiers shared their stories with us. Andriy was born in Belarus and he, fighting in Donbass, met his future wife recently. Before the temporary occupation of Selidovo, they meet in the hospital. Now his wife is in a safe region of Ukraine. For a family emergency, Andriy could have stayed with her, but he couldn't leave his comrades and return to the front.
I was at home for 6 months. I was going crazy. I knew that the boys had moved in and I can be more useful here.
The servicemen admit love for those dear to them and respect for comrades give them the strength to continue battle.
I'm here not because I hate those in front, but because I love those behind me. I have many people for whom I will stay here as long as it's necessary.
Reported by Alexander Zaslavets, Alona Gramova, Evgeny Karmazin, UATV News.